Kia ora once again. We've got some wet weather due on that western coast of the Southland as we head through Thursday afternoon and on in towards Friday. You can see on the satellite picture still a bit more cloud across those western sides. Some nice clear skies out towards the north and the east of the Northland, and across that eastern side of the Southland. Even here, we've got some decent spells of sunshine. As we head through this afternoon, we are going to find weakening fronts moving northwards. Not huge amounts of wet weather across the North Island today, and I think even down south, most of the rainfall in towards Fiordland through the daytime on Thursday. But as we head through the night, we will find that rain getting closer as these features run closer towards New Zealand from the Tasman Sea. So the further east you are, the better chance of staying dry. But I think we're all going to find that cloud thickening up over the next few days. But you can see we have got this next area of wet weather pushing on towards those northern parts of the South Island. And we have got this next feature run up from the south as well. So we have got some severe weather watches and warnings already in place. Now, the warnings for places like Westland run from this evening, from around about 10 p.m. or so on Thursday through in towards Friday, while those watches for Buller run from Friday, and also those warnings you can see for Taranaki Monga and also across in towards the Taro Range run for Friday as well, as this rainfall runs across from the west. It's also going to be bringing with it some strengthening winds around those central parts of New Zealand, particularly in towards, say, the Wairarapa, Wellington and Marlborough. Head along to our severe weather video for a bit more information about those. But you can see that wet weather runs across the central parts of the country. Generally a bit of a cloudy story across the North Island as well, and some wet weather too. And you can see down south that rain does ease away from that western coast, but stays pretty cloudy with more showers on that eastern side as we head through in towards the end of the day. We'll start off though with the North Island. The best place to be to see some dry weather out towards, say, a place like Gisborne and Hawke's Bay. More cloud generally across that western side. And as we head through the daytime, we'll find that rain moving northwards up towards the likes of, say, Auckland through the afternoon. Rather a patchy affair for most of the time, become a bit more persistent as we head through the nighttime. You can see we are going to find that wet weather more especially on the western side of the island. Out towards the east, we'll get a fair bit of high cloud running across, but generally the cloudier skies and the wetter weather will be on the western side of the North Island. Now, temperatures will be best ahead of this feature, so places like Auckland up to 23 degrees Celsius. In Northland, I think we could find temperatures back up to 25 degrees Celsius or so. And again, another fairly similarly warm day out towards the eastern side and the best of that sunshine, 24, 25 degrees Celsius. Down towards Wellington, I think we'll find our highs around about 17 or so. Nothing too cold for our nighttime temperatures. Now, down south, we have got those watches and warnings to watch out for down that western side of the island. You can see some heavy rainfall through there as well. As we go through the day, we'll also find wet weather making its way northwards through Otago and up in towards Canterbury. And that does run even up in towards, let's say, Christchurch as we head in towards the afternoon. Down south, things are improving, but with the return of that cold air, you can see those little bits of white. We are going to find snow down to around about 800 or 900 metres in some of those areas. So it's worth keeping a close eye on the forecast. I think it will feel a fair bit cooler behind this front. But you can see by the end of the day, there is a bit of clearance and some brighter weather down that western coast, and even down south. The range have eased off to just a few isolated showers by the end of the day. Now, that front is going to make a big difference in terms of our temperatures. To the north of that, places like, say, Christchurch and up in towards Marlborough, 21, 22, even 23 degrees Celsius up towards a place like Blenheim. But behind it, it is going to be a cooler feeling day as well. Temperatures back down to around about, say, 15 or 16 or so for our maximums, a place like Queenstown and Ashburton. But it's our overnight temperatures as we head through the nighttime Friday in towards Saturday morning, which will be on a chilly side, around about 3 degrees Celsius there for Queenstown as we head through towards the weekend. But for the South Island, the weekend is looking fine, dry and fairly settled. Higher pressure builds across, and for many spots on the South Island, it's looking pretty decent for both Saturday and Sunday. The North Island, it's a different story. That low pressure you can see out towards the north and the west there extends right the way down and gives rather a cloudy and wet day across most of the North Island for Saturday. If you're down the far southern parts down towards Te and towards Wellington, it does look like a drier day, but we are going to find it turns cloudier. And then on in towards Sunday, that low pressure runs across the north. Some windier and wetter weather back across those northern parts of New Zealand. But you can see down the South Island, many spots are set to stay dry. More cloud, though, in towards the eastern side, and we will find a few showers in towards the foothills. The west coast of the South Island, probably the place to be this weekend. That's it from me, from metservice.com.